Hello, friends. Welcome to this channel, Center of Excellence Pharma 4. In this episode, I am going to discuss about how that holistic approach is required in digital supply chain solution to achieve a Pharma 4. To give you a brief idea about our concept of Center of Excellence Pharma 4 is various emerging technologies like cloud, artificial intelligence, machine learning, IoT, blockchain, robotics are coming up, and how these new technologies can help pharma industry to achieve operational and business excellence. How their challenges can be supported, and with this particular objective, we have developed a knowledge base which is available onto our website respa.com. We designed the courses, about 20 modules, onto a course Smart Manufacturing in Pharma, which is available on Udemy platform. We have launched a YouTube channel about 5 years back with the same objective, and this has got about 350 videos are there, which are covering from objective of business strategy, about drawing a business plan and project plan, how small projects can be done, how those can be rolled it out, how that holistic approach will be there. It's like a people, processes, and technology. And finally, going up to the audits and validation. Our podcast channel is focused on to recent developments into the technologies and recent challenges which are being faced due to regulatory compliances into the pharma industry. We also have a book series. Today there are 7 books are available. These are available on Amazon and in both Kindle as well as paperback edition. So my agenda now today is introduction, core components of Pharma 4 digital supply chain, about the blockchain for transparency and anti-counterfeiting, IoT enabled real time monitoring, AI driven demand forecasting and inventory optimization, cloud based data integration, digital twins for scenario modeling. What are the implementation strategies are there? Multiple enterprises have to collaboration platform, pilot to scale up approach, paperless quality management, key benefits, case studies, and finally the conclusion. So, in the introduction, it's a holistic digital supply chain solution. What really we think about it. When I say holistic, it's a people, processes, and technology. When I say people, it's a basically head, heart, and hands. All have to work together, basically. And this needs to get integrated with the number of advanced technologies which are really coming up. When we have the data onto the cloud and we use the data with an artificial intelligence or machine learning, these are the advanced technologies which are really going to help you to have a data driven decision makings and all that. So this uses the data driven insights that promotes the cross functional collaboration, because we are talking about the end to end digital supply chain management, and gets integrated with the compliance also. So that ensures the adherence to the regulations and all. This has to remain a flexibility. It has to be an agile system which has to go on response to the market changes. Use demand forecasting, demand planning is the starting point, and the entire your system should be there, and that also should help to satisfy the patient centricity. You have to really focus on the patient's needs and the outcome also. Now, blockchain, as I mentioned, to start with that is for the transparency and anti-counterfeiting era. We have to have that traceability that you should implement a blockchain to create an immutable ledger. We have to really track from the raw materials, intermediate, finished product, across the entire supply chain to ensure that a end-to-end visibility of the product or a batch is there till the time it reaches to the patients and all. So that you are sure that it is at got a best quality, best price, best quantity, which is really expected by the patients and all that. And at the same time, it will have a compliance record, so data is to be also generated and maintained about the regulatory requirement as a requirement by CSA. So not to control the security requirements and all that. Embedded compliance check is required into the blockchain transaction, and then that reduces the manual audits actually. Now, when we talk about the other technologies like IoT, which is a real-time monitoring, the predictive maintenance is expected because that IoT data will be used for manufacturing equipments and all that. It could be the temperature, pressures, vibrations, or some all those parameters, and that will forecast the maintenance needs, and that will reduce the downtime. So that if you see that the or those process parameters are likely to cross the limit, then you can necessarily plan the preventive maintenance, and then that preventive plus corrective maintenance will help the life of the machine, life of the equipment. At the same time, it will also improve the process parameter, which will lead to the better quality of your product also. So this becomes a very important thing. So IoT will help in basically improving the condition monitoring. It will deploy the IoT sensor. It will track temperature, humidity, and maybe other location parameters also. And then the this is very big becomes important thing when you're transporting the very sensitive products like vaccines and all that. Your cold chain or something like that. The cold chain temperature and those things also needs to be monitored and all. This is where your IoT can really help in that. Then we discuss about the artificial intelligence demand forecasting and inventory optimization. You can build up your machine learning algorithms or the models or something like that, which will take into consideration your historical data also. Now, historical data can be product wise, period wise, batch wise. It can be some seasonal data also. Maybe some products may have a seasonal requirements, seasonal demands, or something like that. So various market trends which are available from your previous data also is to be taken into consideration. And at the same time, if there are external factors like pandemic or something are coming up and all that, that also it will take into consideration. And then based on to the train, based on to the algorithm which you have built up to suit it to that particular product range or something else, it will demand a better accurate demand forecasting and all that sort of thing, and that will reduce your either a stockouts or could be an overstocking. So now your inventory optimization will happen it, and then since our inventory is linked up to the finances or the funds required for that, if you have a better funds management, that will lead to your profitability calculations also. So you need to have that dynamic replenishments and everything that you can always work it out. And all this data is now, since we are talking about data collection at so many places, and data is going to be a huge data. So that huge data that it's manually making it at a software level, at a company level, it becomes very difficult. So now cloud based technologies, cloud computing is really come up, which will go on capturing all the data, will go on integrating it also, and then unified data lakes will be there where your centralized data storage, solution, integration will take place and all that. So it could be from production or planning or quality or logistic or maintenance something. And then that secure seamless data integration will really happen. And then you may have a old systems here, maybe ERPs or CRM or MES or quality management systems or something. All that will really get integrated. So that will eliminate your earlier analog data silos, and the better data flow will be there. That will lead to the better decision makings and all that. Another thing which is coming up is digital twins. Those scenarios are also now getting developed. That how it is really going to happen at the manufacturing stage or manufacturing execution systems, or are there likely to be any disruptions or something like that? So you can create those virtual systems at a digital twin level and see how it is really going to happen, whether there could be a raw material shortage or machines availability or manpower challenges or something like that. And then you can draw those contingency plan to overcome those challenges and flexibilities and all that. So this is what is the good use or adoption of the digital technology to have a better process optimizations and resources optimizations also. Then multiple enterprises and their collaboration. Now, since uh, this entire supply chain is becoming more and more complex because of you're getting the materials from different places, and then your suppliers at a various locations at a various geographies and thing. Similarly, your manufacturing plants are also at a different places. Your distribution, because the countries are very vast, or sometimes maybe you're doing the exports also to the different countries and all that. So the data is getting generated from the various sources and all that. And you have to have that visibility of the data also, because you want to track it out and monitor the those processes and activities and all of that. So this is really going into the cloud, and multiple enterprises are going to get integrated, which will reduce the data integration cost and all that thing. Also minimizes the hardware or the software which is going to take expenses, and all those will be also be able to monitor it and all. Now, when you're looking out for the entire system, we always recommend it that you should start with a pilot project, because you focus on to maybe your high value product or the challenges where you are looking for the better customer centricity or something, or you want to focus on to challenges of the blockchain and tracking and tracing or something like that. And when you implement those systems, see the results and all that, what benefits you have achieved it, what tangible, intangible benefits have been received it and all that, then you can go on scaling up this particular project to the other department. Another focus area is I always mention about the regulatory requirement. What we have observed is that the huge amount of time, maybe 25 to 30% of the time, about efforts are going into maintaining those documentation. And then we want to really replace all those manual logbooks with the digital batch records. That is what is our objective. There are two things, two benefits are there. One is not only the saving of the time, but accuracy of the data, because when we are writing it down manually, there could be delay, there could be errors or something like that, and those are being eliminated, and you get a better structured data available to all stakeholders at any time in a real time basis and all that. Now, this generate another challenge about the cyber security, because we are looking about the data integrity and then the data sharing to the various stakeholders, and we are collecting the data and we are sharing the data, and that creates a challenge. So, encrypting all the data with IoT or a blockchain is most important. Is that, and then protecting all this sensitive data. It could be about the patient, it could be about the process parameters, it could be about supplies, it could be quality parameters, something that really requires most important things. So paperless things are rare. But finally, if you look at it, there are certain very strong benefits are there. Resilience is there, real-time monitoring is there, and that can really reduce the supply chain disruption, maybe 30-50%. You get a automation which cuts down the inventory cost, could be 15 to 20%. This all depends upon your working conditions. You will have to do that digital maturity level evaluation from whether you are in a step 1 or 2, step 5 or something like that. You get a patient safety and patients are happy, patient centricity increases. So patients are ready to look at it for your brand only. And regular agility is also there. No? Automated compliance reporting also will take place and all. So some of the case studies you can definitely find onto internet. A lot of case studies are available. Mediledger is a blockchain pilot which is really helping about drug authenticity. And then the big data adoption is helps you in improved data forecasting, and then that accuracy can really help you in your entire planning and things. So you don't have keep a high stock. You don't keep a stock where you lose your market because of the non-availability material. So lot of those benefits are there. So with this, coming to that some conclusion, that is your technologies and strategies for the pharma for requires the combination, innovation, collaboration of all those various advanced technologies. And you have to also think about the innovative strategies and all that. When you start looking out at the data and you start to looking at the benefit, you can also start thinking about innovatively how you can improve those things further and all that. So when you are looking about the connected supply chain, you get enhanced agility, improved quality, and better patient centricity and all that. So most of those details are already been discussed at our other platforms also, either at Udemy or YouTube podcast or even in the books also. So I strongly suggest, request all of you to look at those channels and everything also. If you need any help from our side, please feel free to contact us. If you have any suggestions or something like that, do write to us. Share this with your network also. Thank you. Bye.